Trev's Hockey Show. I'm the Trev. It's too sweet. Anyway, yeah, we're talking about Chicago again. Initially, when was first ready to record this, I was just going to talk about the beginning process, where I left off at, where the last I heard, the request was submitted. But as I was getting ready to record, which was probably an hour or so ago, the story changed. And now the process is actually happening. And well, the Chicago Blackhawks are going to most likely get an X on their 2010 Stanley Cup run. Reluctantly, let's talk about it. So earlier today, Chicago Blackhawks owner Rocky Wirtz submitted a formal letter with a request that the Hall of Fame strongly consider Xing a name off the Stanley Cup, that being Brad Aldrich. And I'm not going to go into details on the story. You can find that again in a link in the description. But basically, the thing he's guilty of, the thing he's being accused of again, should disqualify him from being on the cup. And yeah, rightfully so. When last I checked this afternoon, it was in discussion between Lanny McDonald, who I just did a video on here, and the NHL, i.e., Gary Bettman and Bill Daly. And like I said, as of about an hour ago, it went from strong recommendation to actually happening. The sad thing is, it's not somewhere up at the top, it's somewhere in the middle. Let me show you. Right there. If you need to pause it to look, do that, but it's right there. It's not anywhere that's inconspicuous. So based on that, I don't know if they're going to go ahead with the idea of what they did with Basil Pocklington, where they just X'd it out. For those of you who don't know it, here it is. Like that. His is at the like at the top. But that's what they want. So they want to give the Stanley Cup more stitches. I like to call those stitches. I like to call this one the black eye. So the long and short of it is that's what Chicago would like to see happen, and I think that's what the NHL is talking about. And again, I don't know how they're going to go about this, but that's what Chicago would like to see happen. I wouldn't like to see it happen, but that's just me. I'm just the guy. Let's talk more about it. There's two schools of thoughts on this. A, he should have never been on there in the first place. Given everything that happened, given hindsight telling us what happened, his name should have never made it there, but it did, and that falls somewhere. It's probably out of the office now, but it should have been removed if it was going to go on because it went on, but it should have been removed in 2014 when he was convicted of the same thing he's being accused of now. It should have been removed then, but for whatever reason, it slipped through the cracks, and here's where we are now. Cup gets more stitches, but hindsight being what it is, if they could have seen into the future back in 2010, maybe they wouldn't have cared anything about upsetting the team dynamic because they got to deal with this first. And it was maybe they could have went on and won the cup even with this going on. But again, hindsight is only 2020. All in all, it's unfortunate the cup has to go through this. I mean, I don't think they're going to make a completely new band just to remove a name because they might as well take off the 83 84 one and redo that whole one too. It's just one of those things that's unfortunate it's gone to the Stanley Cup. But things happen. It is what it is, right? It doesn't really change the fact that he still got to have his day with the cup. Doesn't change the fact he got to be a part of the Stanley Cup celebration and parade. Doesn't change the fact he got a Stanley Cup ring. Doesn't change any of that. But it shouldn't have got that far in hindsight. That's just my opinion, but that's what we're looking at. So, again, I don't know what they're going to do. If they're going to just find a way of erasing it or if they're just going to exit out, I don't know. But either way, damage is done. Hopefully, it's a case of something works out and they can just erase it with a dry eraser or something. I know, wishful thinking if it was only that easy. Push the easy button. But let's move on from this lesson. So that was another one of Trev's hockey shows. Oh, thank you for tuning in. Don't think I don't appreciate the gesture, especially if you're right here. It means I'm getting through. It means you're listening and I'm talking, so it's all good. But for everybody who's come along lately, thank you very much. You're helping stack the numbers, and the closer we get to 100, the happier I'll be. So since you're here, hit that like button. And since we're talking about it, that subscribe button, that red one that says subscribe on it, smack that thing. You know you want to. I know you want to. Subscribe makes you feel good. And we're 11 away, from 100. So let's get there. All my socials there in the description down below. Moving forward, hopefully I can have a bit more of a positive video, and I think I might actually just go ahead and do that. So either way, in the meantime, in between time, be looking for more from Trev. Later.